Hey everybody, welcome to the BCC podcast show featuring yours truly, Buffy, and of course I have this fabulous co-host of mine, Coach Chemo.
Hi, everyone.
So Coach Chemo, what's going on today? How was your day?
Well, being that you brought that up, we can go ahead and jump right on into our highs and lows of today. My high of today was actually sitting back and observing something that I predicted is going to happen. It actually happened today. And it was kind of one of those haha moments. And I've seen this particular thing happen in 10 different times, but I never predicted happen in this specific way. And it was very humbling to see nonetheless. On the other side of that, my low for today is I have some really punitive matter, really important matter that I said I'm going to get done. I'm going to buckle down. Yeah, they're still pending. So that's why
Yeah.
so that is how I'm doing. How are you doing?
Well, I am fine. I was a little saddened today that I had to return back to work after being out for a little bit just to kind of do my self awareness, mental health, just try to relax out of the crazy work week that I always have. And I come back and it's just started low. The type of work that I do for a living is very, well, how can I classify it? Very intense. I'm just going to leave it as that. It's a very intense type job. So I went right from stepping out the fire into a burning building. And that was my very low for today. But my high is, of course, waking up and actually trying again for the next day. Where I left off yesterday was not where I began today. And I'm sure I'm not going to begin like that tomorrow. So it will always be my high of having another chance of having another day to do something different.
Both of those sounds fair and intriguing at the same time. For tonight's discussion, I wanted to discuss with you what do you think or feel is an appropriate time frame for a quickie? And I've been hearing certain people float certain time around, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 30 seconds.
Mm.
And I've heard people say, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes. So I'm curious, from the lady's perspective, like, okay, how long should a quickie be? And, where are quickies okay? Are quickies okay at home in the kitchen? Are they okay in the bathroom mall, in the bathroom at the mall? Yeah,
Listen, if
you
you're
know,
trying to say something,
you,
if you dropping subliminals, just say
you,
that.
are they okay in the van at the Home Depot that people rent? Like what are okay rams for a quickie, and then I'll follow up with my thoughts as well.
Oh gosh, a quickie. Whew. Okay, Whew, a quickie. I mean, I think it all depends on the person, because again,
I'm
with like,
asking you, so we're
no,
not
I
depending
know,
on the
I'm
person.
no, I'm
I want
generally
to know
just
what
making my
Buffy.
generalization.
Hold on. When I go into my sex book and I have my Buffy section, I want to have Buffy sex content right here. So not what for people, what Buffy likes. So go ahead.
Okay, since you want to start a binder on my on my quickie, I would say it all depends on the type of day I'm in or type of mood that I'm in. It could be real quick in the car, or it might be quick.
Real quick, is there a time? Give me a time.
Okay, so if I were to put the limitations of time, I would say a quickie should be no more than maybe like 30 minutes.
No more than 30. Okay. What's the minimum?
That is minimum. Cause wait a minute.
Wait, wait, is the 30 minimum or the 30 maximum?
No. 30 is minimum.
Okay, so what's the maximum then?
The
Because
maximum,
you can't be calling 3 hours a fucking a quickie. So what's the maximum?
no, 3 hours is definitely not even, that's not even a fuck. That is just like you're on a marathon, you're doing something different. And I don't want no parts of that. But I think like a maximum time for me after like the foreplay, because you're not gonna just jump in and just
That is
start like, hey,
exactly the definition of a quickie, is
yeah,
to
but a quick,
jump in.
yeah, but are we talking about a quickie with somebody? Okay, wait, maybe I don't want to call my. Wait, let me rephrase that. Woo. Is this a quickie with your significant other? Or is this a quickie with maybe someone that you like, that you know that likes you, that you like them, and you know that
It's
you
a
might have that
quickie.
physical?
It is a quickie with whoever you would want it to be.
Ooh, okay. So if it's with who I want it to be, the minimum time would be at least 30 minutes. The maximum time would be at least an hour and 30 minutes.
Okay, pause right there. Ready? Does your battery in any of your toy give you 30 minutes or an hour?
Does my who?
Your batteries in toys.
They're rechargeable.
Look at that. See? You trying to have dudes match up to your toys. Continue.
First of all, men should match up with, first of all, if men would supplement that energy that the toy gives us, we wouldn't be buying these toys. Let's talk about it, right? Because if I know, the worst thing I hate is that I'll try to get a quickie and I don't get off on the quickie. Then I gotta reach for my toy. It has happened on numerous occasions. I will leave that significant others nameless. However, it's been times it's been like that, and I'm just, I don't know. That person say maybe I'm just too energized. I'm too sexually like aroused. Maybe too much energy for them. I don't know, but that
So
will satisfy me.
I want to let you know, for a guy, a quickie, and if you use that as your premise, right? Like you said, for you or for females, it takes a little while longer to climax. So if you're using the climaxation, ooh, nice word.
Climaxation.
So if we want to use the climaxation as our time to evaluate, you know, the the ending of the session, for guys, yeah, they're looking at about professional quickies, and we're gonna title it professional
Wait a minute,
quickies.
we got professional quickies.
Oh yeah, professional quickies, meaning that you have guys that train themselves to start and stop within a particular window. Like you have a guy that can give you 10 minutes consistently all the time, boom, but that's at 10. It
Right.
shuts off at 10. Some people it's 15 or 20. So those are the professional, professional quickies. You can hit them up, they can come do the business on their lunch break, 30 minutes or less,
Right.
you know, tag him and bag him. Now you got amateurs, and the amateurs are those the ones that you real going in for a real good time. You feeling them, you expecting to have a nice little time, and they just pop. They just pop. They just pop. They couldn't handle what's happening. So you call those the amateur quickie, because
But you know what?
technically now you have a body count, but you ain't do anything.
But
So
see,
it
that shouldn't
counts
even.
in the quickie category.
I don't think that should count though. You know, like how when we playing basketball, we have the starting five, and then the starting five start getting tired. We got to get the subs in. That's a sub. Like That don't even like a bench warm. That don't count. Like we can't count that. But if you are, I give credit to
Are we
those.
counting I's or are we counting T's? As I was saying before I was rudely interrupted,
I didn't interrupt
we
you.
had the
I'm just saying.
professional quickie, we have the amateur quickies, and then now my third category, which I guess is my favorite category. I like to consider quickies as starter packages, meaning,
Okay.
yeah, I know you got to be at work at 8 o'clock, and I know it's 8:50, and I know I'm going to tell you we're going to do this in 5 minutes for you to get 5 minutes to get to work. But just those first 5 minutes is so good that we just gonna have to tell the job we gonna be late. We have a family situation happening, and whenever we get done because it's not good. You know? No,
Right.
that's my kind of quickie because guess what? We both gotta hurry it up to get along because we got other obligations that's knocking at the door, so we can't spend all day, so you
Right.
put more energy in, put the work in, get it out. You get to work, you walking around the bus like, oh, I'm just smiling. I'm blessed.
Thank you. I'm blessed. So that comes to that's a question that I want to ask you. So since you have categorized the different
Quickies.
quickies, what will be your best quickie that you ever had, and what was your worst quickie you ever had?
Mm. Mm-hmm. I figured out the best. Give me a second. Let me figure out the worst.
Okay. How about say you want me to go first?
Go ahead.
Ladies
Ladies
first,
before
right?
gentlemen. I will gladly give you the floor.
So I would say my best quickie I can remember because it's been a long time, but my
Bitch,
best
you started to sound old talking about it's been a long
it's been a long time. But I would say my best quickie was I was getting ready to go to work, and the significant other I was dealing with at the time was just so intrigued with what I had on. Like he was just sitting there mesmerized on like my work attire, how I put myself together. He was just like, oh my God. So I had like a two-level home at that time where I was living. And I got a text message as I went upstairs to go grab my bag. It was like, I want you right now. Take your clothes off. And I'm like, boy, bye. I'm about to go to work. All of a sudden, I just end up bent over in my bedroom, and I had to call my boss and tell my boss, like, listen, I'm about to be maybe an hour late. I'm gonna see you when I see you. So, 3 hours later I got to work and it was no problem. I didn't get in trouble. It was definitely worth the quickie. Yes.
So you're basically saying your quickie is exactly the same quickie that I just described in my previous categorization of quickies, and I told you it's one of my favorite ones. Ha ha!
Wait, that was the last
Interesting.
one that you the
That
last one that
that
you that
was
you
that was. Just wanted to contextualize that for all of us. But
Okay.
continue. Go ahead and tell me what your not so favorite quickie was.
Okay, so the not so great quickie, and please, guys, don't judge me. This is a safe place, right? So I was working at the job, and I got a call from a significant other I was talking to at the time that they wanted to see me because we was gonna go grab some lunch.
And just to make sure that I'm okay, the person from the great one is not the same person, or is it the same person?
No, it's not the same person.
Oh, so it's different people. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I have stories. But anyway, So we were going out to go get lunch, and we end up going to this restaurant and ordered our lunch, because I was on the work time. And he decided, like, oh, let's do something adventurous. Let's go have a quickie in the bathroom. Right. So I respectfully say this quickie did not last long because it was like 10 minutes. And then that person, got the pleasure that he wanted. And I was just there. I guess I was just like a placemat because it was just like, in my head, I'm like, what? Have you ever had some like bad sex where you're in your head and you're like, why am I here? Like, why is this happening? It was that moment I
Never.
knew.
That has never
Well, it
happened to
always
me.
happens to me. And I'm not gonna lie, it always happens to me. Maybe because of the time of how I'm thinking, or maybe the attraction level is just not there. But I would say that person is definitely an amateur because it lasts only like 10 minutes, and then they had the nerve to be sweating and doing the most, like they put in so much work, and I'm just sitting there like, is my lunch ready? Because I'm ready to go so I could go back to work. But I will
Did you
never
at least
forget
get
the
lunch
first.
out of the situation?
Did I get what?
Lunch out of the situation.
I got lunch. Yeah, that was
Thank you.
good. But
Thank you.
yeah, that was my worst.
So for my best, and let me start with the best. Ha! I remember the best. The best was in college. Whew, my college years was my
College
good
years is
years.
always great. Oh my god. Whew.
So I remember it was a Wednesday.
Mhm.
It was just before 12 o'clock. This is how good it was. So me and my significant other at the time, we had a good night the night before, and some way, somehow we woke up the morning and we started to argue. And looking back at it, I think we both wanted to argue. We were both young at the time, so we weren't sure. We were both a little timid in terms
Mhm.
of who wanted to ask for it. So we
Mhm.
used to just kind of accidentally fall into it.
Mhm.
We had a fight the morning of, and I remember at about noon, we were still going at it. And I just remember one of us grabbed the other person and started making out within the middle of the fight.
Mhm.
And then clothes start coming off, and it's just a nice sympathy. It's just connecting,
Mhm.
connecting. And this is the first time that I knocked somebody's pipe out the water to make
Mhm.
them squirt. So I was like,
Yo, not the victory dance.
I
Not
was
the
full victory dancing that ass. Bop, 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 bop. Whew. It was so good afterwards that I was. Now, normally I would have went to sleep. I was up here on a high. When I mean up here, that exact same day at 1 o'clock, I had to go accept my award. That was my college award day that they gave out all the award to all the prestigious scholars
Mm.
from academic awards to financial award. I'm proud to say that that day I received 7 awards. I remember my friend saying, "Why do you smell like sex with the award ceremony while I looked gorgeous?" I was so proud. Thank you, darling. So that was my favorite cookie.
Oh my god. But that sounded like there was more than a quickie. How long did that last?
Okay, so in terms of time frame, and again, from me putting it in till we popped off, I'm gonna say about 23 minutes.
Not 23. 23 minutes
Me at
on the second.
23 and me. And then the not so nice one is, and this is why I've officially decided it's a no. So There was someone that I was really interested in. They could not host. They could not make it back to my place to host. So we decided, let's have some car play. Now it's my car, and my car is a coupe.
Mm.
Mm. I am not the tallest person in the world. I'm a nice six, no six. I'm already
I'm gonna
lying.
say what, sir? How about say 6 1?
I am a nice 5'5", and on my good days, 5'6", 5'7" type of guy.
Right.
This person was at least a 5'9", 5'10". So all of that moving around parts in the coupe, let's just say it wasn't the easiest. And I
Hmm.
think at first the person had all the fit that I was like, boom, ready to go. Yes, sir, sir. By the time I got into the movement and making the parts go, it
It went flat.
flat, no pressure, nah, zero zappas. I was like, hey, let's take a rain check. I think I have an emergency, or if not, I think I have one coming up.
Not the incoming emergency.
Incoming emergency. I have them scheduled. I'm sorry. I work at the hospital.
Oh my god.
So yeah, so that was my not so nice experience within that arena.
Hmm.
I think the key importance is that I can take from both of our experiences, like you've determined, is a quickie can be anything and happen anywhere. Now it's the pleasure, the value, the
Right.
quality of said quickie that lasts beyond its actual time constraints.
That's true. That is true.
I,
But
I have a question for you. Can you go ahead
go.
and post that picture up so I can go ahead and read that message?
You know what? I was trying to actually post it up, but for some reason I'm having some technical difficulties in posting it up. But are you talking about the bottle girl
Uh-huh.
posting? So you're gonna have to just try to read that off because it
That's
wouldn't
hold on.
post.
So me and you can just regular talk now, but that's fine. We have 20 minutes already.
Yeah.
So if we wanted, we have enough content for us. That back and
Okay.
forth dialogue that we just did with all of those, that's 20 minutes.
Okay.
Do you understand what I mean?
I get you. So you want wait.
And speaking of quickies, it is important that we keep each experience in their appropriate category because sometimes when we try to mislabel a quickie and turn them into a husband or a wife, we end up with not so nice situations.
Mm. And speaking of that, ending up with a fast, quick relationship brings us to the trending topic that's going on right now with the rest of Tessa, why the fuck I got married. And that whole experience is definitely something.
And who, before we get started, who's that?
So apparently,
Play her
51
video.
TikToks later, it's
Play
a
her
woman.
video.
Oh, wait a minute. I was going to tell you who she was.
You play her video first so we can see her and then you could talk about her.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. I'm sorry.
Please excuse the hair, but here is part one of Who the Fuck Did I Marry? So I met my ex-husband around March 4th of 2020. We met on Facebook dating site, and we also matched on Hinge. I did.
Bang. You see? Red flags right there. Red flags right out the gate. You heard what she said? She met him on Facebook dating and matched on Hinge. That means he's on. I mean, when you're dating, you should be on different platforms. But if you're trying to find something serious, why be enrolled in all of these dating sites all at once?
Not enrolled.
We don't. Why is the enrollment enrolled in all of these freaking dating websites all at once?
What's the young lady's name you said?
I guess her name is Tessa.
Okay.
Risa Tessa.
I've been
Tessa.
I've been able to do a quick deep dive on the expressive version of Tessa's story, and my conclusion is just that Tessa, girl, you got played. You got played. You remember last week where I told you there is how many millions of women in America, and there was a whole 5 million extra without a man? Yeah, you're in that version of being played.
Yeah, I definitely agree. But I do give her credit, right, for the accountability that she took for the mistakes that she made.
But
right?
is there really accountability?
Well, she's acknowledging that I know I should have done this and I should have done that. But it's like from what I'm grasping from this woman, she's probably been in relationships prior. She gave herself some grace to kind of get herself together because she mentioned that she had, different things for herself, had a good job, had a nice place. And she sees this young man coming in, proposing like he had everything established and
No, he
aligned to
didn't
what
propose.
she
He did
did.
not propose it.
Not
All she
proposed,
spoke
not
about,
proposed,
all she
but
spoke about along the way was trouble, heartache, possibility of cheating. It's working, not working. It's looking good. It's not looking good. I
well,
am sure prior to her going into the relationship, she had a set of rules and values and standards which she created for herself. I'm sure she did not stand on those while in that relationship.
clearly
Instead
not.
of who did I marry, I would want her to tell me why did you marry him? Because there was nothing in any of the story that yelled my knight, white, and shining what they call it?
Shining armor.
There you go. And nor was she saying he was dicking her down or putting money in her bank account. So
She
what
did say
reason
he
was
was
it
paying
again?
her bills.
Huh?
Okay, so she did mention about him paying her bills,
But then he was also broke.
but she didn't know he was broke.
So, but that's the part. That's the part where I'm like, hey, take the man as he is, then don't complain. One moment he's up, next moment he down. That's life.
So, but see, he never showed the down period until she started. He never showed the down period. If you listen to like maybe the first.
Who do you know that leads with their worst foot forward?
Nobody. But this man pretend to have his best foot forward
did he
and
though?
backwards.
Did he though? Right? We're living in this era where we're all living our best, true, authentic self. If I'm a thief, liar, scammer, thief, are you expecting me to show up as somebody else? I'm showing up as my full, true, and authentic self. Now, when you decide to entertain me, that's the key word. When you choose to entertain me and you are front row seat at the carnival, and I've now asked for a participant, and you're now a part of the show, pony up or get in the lion's cage.
Right.
Because when you entered the room, the stadium, you saw the sign out there that said circus.
She wasn't looking for that. She was looking for true love.
I am not defending this man in any way, shape, or form. Because again, player is a player. But what I kept on hearing about was the cute gestures here and there. And because there was a cute gesture, we kept on going along for the ride.
Right. But that led me to believe her self-esteem was low because I'm like, it just didn't seem like how she described him. And then from what the internet, and listen, the internet, kudos to you guys because you guys found this man with just a little bit of description. I'm afraid to say certain things. That's why I keep people nameless and description real low because I do not want you to find who you don't need to find. But um, it just seems as though like she really just wanted to be loved, and he came in and sold her a dream.
He didn't seem to try that hard because, again, if you married somebody within 6 months of them meeting, hello. She said they went to marriage counseling. The pastor said, had he met
No,
them before, he would have recommended not for them to be married. If the pastor seen it, I'm sure others have seen it. But there's a part to me that told me that she didn't want to hear it.
right. So they went to the pastor after they were married,
Correct.
but they should have went to pre-counsel before marriage, and the
You should have
wife,
never gotten married.
right. And that's what the pastor's wife said to her. Like, it should have never been a marriage to begin with. Because if he's not going to be open and honest with you, and you're finding out things, and you already find out that he's doing infidelity, and you're not even fully invested into this marriage yet, then what's going to happen later on? So they were saying, like, you should have never gotten married to him. Never.
Even the infidelity. Like, I want to be like this. You've been with this person how many days, and y'all's not knocking the headboard in? What do you think
And
was
it's
happening?
early. Because normally the first 6 months to a year, sometimes a
That's
year and
what
a
I
half,
thought.
it's all
That's when it's
honeymoon. It's hot. You can't
hot.
get enough of each other. Like, yeah.
You sore, baby. You sore. Oh, you tagging in sore from the last round.
Right. And you even she got pregnant for him. And we were, I was just like, with all that you know, the fraud,
And
the
this is why I said,
previous
ready?
marriage.
Ready? She not only went to the carnival, she went to the carnival, she joined the circus, and now she's on the amusement ride.
Poor thing.
Because you trailing him across how many states? California, Rhode Island, and God knows. Look, sir, I really liked you. I thought this was going to be my one and done. It was
Right.
nice. We spent 2 months. Can you have your stuff up by 7 a.m.? Thanks.
Thank you. But see, that leads me to another topic that we can discuss next week on how we need to identify these red flags and stop looking past it, really holding ourselves accountable.
So that sounds good. So for our next episode, you wear red, I wear red, and we will definitely be discussing red flags in the color
flag.
red.
In the color red. So that's going to be our topic for next week.
So tune in next time on our next episode to watch us discuss several red flags, whether professional red flags, personal red flags, or of course, Big Buddy Watson red flags. Because there is red flags to all of it. People are now thinking Dickford, so I have to give you the red flag for all of those. But yeah, so tune in the next time to our BCC podcast show.
Yes, and don't forget to follow us on our social platform on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Thank you for joining me, Buffy, and Coach Chemo on the BCC podcast. Ciao.
Ciao.